There's our intro. Old-timey thrown together intro. Mic check, mic check. No, it's the new one with the black magic, but still. Just put in such little effort as something that we play every week.
Hello, everybody. We're Chelsea and Tony. We're live. And
at a very special time.
At a very special, different time. And this episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the easiest way to create a beautiful website, blog, or online store for you and your ideas. Squarespace features elegant interfaces, beautiful templates, and incredible 24/7 customer support. You can go to squarespace.com today. You can try it out for 14 days for free. No credit card needed. It's not some kind of trick. We're not trying to get you, okay? It's just free. And then if you decide that you like it, you can go to squarespace.com/Tony and use the coupon code portfolio. That gets you 10% off. And that tells Squarespace, dang, Tony and Chelsea are on fire. Let's keep making that show.
And if you already have a Squarespace portfolio and you want us to review it, or if you even set up a trial, that works too, go to sdp.io/link right now and give us your URL and we'll look at one or two portfolios, usually halfway through the show or so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's introduce Justin.
Hey, everyone.
Justin.
Producer here, making everything work.
Fine new haircut.
Also in charge of sticking labels to envelopes today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Keeping us on task.
And Siobhan out in Philly, also an editor and producer, but right now she's screening your comments. So if you have questions or comments for us, you can just write them.
She's also a corporate spy.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can't just say that.
It'll be fine. She's just changed her hair again.
That explains so much.
Okay.
Our Photoshop book is here, like physically. I know it's been a long time coming.
We've been talking about it forever.
But it's ready.
You can touch it. You can read it.
Yeah, I'm so happy with it. I think it turned out just beautiful. Your design of it was great, Chelsea.
Thank you.
The pictures turned out great.
This is the back.
It has 10 hours of video in it. Never before seen Photoshop videos. We try to make learning Photoshop as easy as possible. And it's specifically for photographers. So we kept it as brief and concise as we possibly could, telling you just what you really need to know to make your pictures even better and to get the most out of Photoshop, rather than just wasting your time going into every single little nitpicky menu item and feature. We really focus on what's important to make the best use of your time. So you can get it at sdp.io/store. It'll be soon available in bookstores and stuff, but for now, what's the matter?
That picture looks bad.
Why would you say that?
Because this is my first time seeing the book, and
oh yeah, we literally haven't had a chance to look through it. Okay, I don't know. That picture looked okay to me.
And I need to announce it live quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, check that out. This week we're looking at any picture of yours. I should have put the URL in there and I didn't. It's sdp.io/submit. So I'll just type it for you now. Look, sdp.io/submit. And there's no password this week, so you can just go here and log yourself in, and then you'll be able to upload a picture there, and we'll take a look at it. While people are submitting photos, this next Thursday, we're doing street photography with Andy Shields. So we announced that previously, and then we weren't going to be here. So anyway, that'll be October 6th, street photography with Andy Shields.
We got to put up some of his pictures. He's really talented. Super nice guy. He used to write for our blog. So if some of you read our blog, you might be familiar with some of his posts. He works with a lot of vintage glass and stuff like that. He's cool.
Do you care to share any stories from Photokina? We had a couple of meetups that I thought went fantastically. It was so exciting to meet everybody.
Photokina is massive. We didn't even cover like 20% of everything there was to see. Yeah. Especially because we kept stopping to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
So
we met a lot of people.
We saw just a few parts of it, but not nearly enough.
What was your favorite part of Photokina?
Futureland.
Yes. What sort of things did they have in Futureland?
It's like picture frames. The
photo albums.
Photo albums. Future. No, there was some interesting stuff. I liked all of the pictures that they shared, actually. You know, there was a lot of technology there that was interesting, but they had a lot of really beautiful prints. It was almost like going to a museum.
Yeah, I will say that the thing I was most excited about at Photokina were just collapsible drones, because traveling with the DJI Phantom, it's such a pain to travel with. So we saw a couple of collapsible drones from a couple of Chinese companies, and then GoPro made one, the Karma. And I was excited about those. And then like 3 days later, DJI announces the Mavica, which is their own foldable drone. And it's made by DJI, the top manufacturer of drones. And it's also like smaller and better in just every way.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, those poor companies. Like all my favorite products at Photokina, this DJI one is probably going to crush them all. It's probably the best, and probably for a good reason.
You always have like the saddest predictions.
I think DJI is going to do great. That's a positive spin on it.
That's good.
It's good when there's competition like that.
Yeah, that's true. It makes them refine their product and everything. What else? We got to meet so many nice people at Photokina.
Yeah, that was the biggest part of it for us. There weren't like a whole lot of new exciting products. The Fujifilm medium format camera people are excited about, but it's not real. It's just not real. It's like they have a couple of work together prototypes, but there's no sample images or anything.
I just put up a tweet saying there's no live show this week. Just ignore that. It was from last week from Siobhan.
Oh. There is a live show this week where you're watching.
Yeah. I don't know. What else?
We're tired today too.
I'm so tired.
Let's see if anybody sent pictures in.
I started working this morning and just realized my brain wouldn't do it. It was like running in sand.
Well, we got home at maybe 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. last night. And we're, 5 hours jet lagged.
Whoa, we're getting some good stuff already.
Okay. People are sending in their pictures to scp.io/submit for review, 1 picture per person. This is an intense photo.
Yeah, beautiful little baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great shot with just really good emotion. I think your settings are perfect here. It's nice. I have no criticism for you. I'll just give it a pick. Great light. This tells, some
tack.
This is some horse thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know much about horses, but I like the lighting on it, and I like the almost monochromatic texture of it.
Should we go black and white just because I have a black and white shirt? I'm so delirious. I'm sorry. Sure. Let's just do what you were doing because you're fun. This is amazing. What is this? It's a ghost boat. Right?
Yeah, I really like the mood of it. I think without the fog, it would be a completely different shot and less interesting. But a lot of times you'll see something run down like this and think it's cool, and you'll take a picture of it and it won't convey.
I can't.
But they found an atmosphere and weather conditions that help support the mood of it, and it works. And I'll give them a pick for that.
It's really good. I'm going to give them 5 stars because I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, I don't think they stumbled across it in the fog. I think they knew about this and they visited it at the right time. Took a little bit of planning and that paid off. So I applaud that.
Oh, there's a sign. I bet it says ghost boat.
Yeah, I'd probably lose that sign, but beautiful. I want to check for a white point in here though. Don't you feel like a white point might be missing?
Hey.
Okay.
You do what you have to do.
Yeah. A little bit of white point in there. It'll certainly print better if you do that. Put in a black point too.
I was going to bring up the whole exposure.
Oh, yeah. One of the problems that can happen with any sort of...
Let's press Y.
Yeah. Anytime you do HDR, the contrast can actually become too low.
It's a little
and you
mushy.
have to actually restore it, and it will just make it look better and more natural.
Phenomenal. Let's give it a pick.
Okay.
They're really pulling out the stops. Think they're making your job easy. Oh my gosh. It's you, Tony. Well, here's a story from Photokina.
Okay. Here's the picture story.
We sit down, we're trying to enjoy a nice hot dog for breakfast because we made some unfortunate decisions, and breakfast did not go well for us that morning. And Tony decides to start throwing bread at a pigeon, and that pigeon turns into 20 pigeons. And I ran away because I knew it wasn't going to get better. I knew the pigeons weren't just going to say, hot dog, let's all leave. I turn around and Tony's surrounded by like 100 birds, but just eating his hot dog and nonchalantly throwing things at them. It's like, it's you.
Yeah, that seemed fine.
You're cracking me up. I got a picture, so I'll share that on Instagram.
I like this picture a lot. I love I don't even know how they got so much motion blur at 1/30th of a second. Like, are those people just hauling?
I don't think so. This
They're
man
moving
is
fast. It's 1/30th of a second.
The striped background's cool. It's great. It brings
I
back
like it a lot.
memories for
Nicely
me
done.
personally. Oh,
Yeah, that's perfect. Great composition on it. Good expression. Good lighting
that's
on him.
hilarious.
I love his pose. Nicely done. Yeah, you're going to warm that up a little bit, right?
Or black and white.
Yeah, I think a little warmer would help because it already feels like a sunrise shot to me, but
Yeah.
the color temperature might not be quite warm enough to convey that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
This is gorgeous. And
this is so droney.
I know it's the potential of aerial photography, right?
It's
and this really conveys it.
Potential.
People sometimes just send a drone up and take random snapshots, but you clearly carefully compose it around those lines, and the people in there are just perfect. So I gave that one a pick. I'm not sure that it is a drone shot. Maybe they're just up in a hill.
Tree.
I think it might be up in a hill. Yeah.
Some kind of tree situation.
Either way.
Okay. We really nailed that one.
Yeah.
It's a little hot. Let's expose her face properly. Oh, we lost some detail in there.
I see. You're right. It's a little overexposed, and you actually want more contrast, deeper shadows, right? Because
I can't bring this back because let me show you, photographer. The subject is her eyes and this light on her face, but it's blown out a bit here, so you want to expose it properly for her skin, and then don't be afraid to lose everything else in the shadows. No big deal. I'm not interested in over here. So I can't do it. You can see when I drag down the exposure, I lost some detail here, but I would probably bring it down to about there. And then you can always bring up everything else after. You could bring out the shadows. You could just go to the red channel here if you wanted to bring that up and make that more prominent. This doesn't look good because, like I said, I'm having a hard time bringing those out. But I like the composition, the colors, a lot of nice stuff.
I would actually think about the composition a little bit because I feel like it's weighted a little low because here's everything we're seeing. And I think if you were to, just pull it in a little bit, let's unlock that.
We are just coming straight out the gate with some really good cropping.
I have to cough.
I'm not a fan of that decision, but I support you as a husband in person. This baby's happy. Okay. Okay.
The baby is happy. I don't know what happened with the
Sure.
picture.
I like it.
The cropping of it, rather.
A 2 gig card.
That's really a cute setup. I like that a lot. It's like they brought it into the mechanic shop and they put it on the lift. They're taking it apart. That's cute. I'm going to give that one a pick. That's fun.
It's fun. Tony likes it. I like it. Whoa.
Hungarian
Yeah,
Parliament.
yeah,
I've not been there.
yeah.
It looks really gorgeous, though, and great lighting on it. You can see either the sun is just setting or just rising
I
above
like the
whatever
colors
hills.
a lot in this. I'm going to give this a P.
Nice
for
work.
perfect. October day.
Right away, it felt like a little too much.
No.
You don't think so? Not too much
Makes
on
me
the
wanna dream a bigger
saturation?
dream. It's very stylized.
Yeah. But I think it's a beautiful scene. I like the overall simple composition of it.
I just kept going.
Well, the title of it is American Flag Freedom Texas.
Sure.
So,
Let's give
how
that
can you
title.
not like it
Let's
if you-
give that title 5 stars.
yeah, if you didn't give it 5 stars, they'd probably kick you out of the country for treason.
Wow. You do things really differently in Texas, don't you? I don't know what this is. Some kind of go-kart from hell?
I actually don't. I've never seen that piece of machinery before.
I like it. Let's go.
Okay. I think we missed the focus on the eyes, which can be difficult. 'Cause
Really
there's
cute
grasses
expression.
in front of them.
Really nice environment. A
we
little
love you
flat.
too.
A little flat.
Yeah, I actually think the lighting and the color look really nice. You're right. You could bring the contrast up a little bit. And otherwise, just
Ooh,
keep refocusing and
pick.
shooting.
I love
Make sure you use a
these.
single focus point on the eye.
These lines here are framing this person really nicely. It tells a good story. The light is wonderful.
Yeah.
Love
Perfect
it.
shot. Great. Here the lighting is pretty flat because everything's in the shade.
Yeah, everything's in the shade.
Yeah, and you just kind of lose all the texture when something's in the shade because you only get light bouncing off of the atmosphere basically and the surroundings.
Yeah.
But it's a good spot. You might just try revisiting it at a different time of day.
It's all about the light.
Yeah, different weather conditions.
Here, this horse needs a little catch light in his eyeball. And I'm going to do a really poor job. And I'm going to show you just what I mean. And then there's just a bit of dimension there. You can see
That
before it looks like a hole, after it looks like an eyeball.
that definitely made a difference.
You cropped his little nose off,
Yeah, I felt a little weird about the crop too.
but I still like horses. Luke. What's this? Who are we?
I feel like it needs
Kind of.
a focal point. Like there needs to be a person in it. I feel, doing whatever they would do in a room like this. What would you do in a room like this anyway? Is it some sort of obstacle course or is the floor just missing?
It's
Like do you
a
walk
tea
on those
house.
beams? Oh, I see. Yeah, you would sit on those beams.
Well, no, this looks like a stage. Yeah, like when we were trying to figure out something in real time, really dumb. We're like, is it an obstacle course? That's
Just showing our ignorance of
yeah, we're
various
dumb.
cultures.
We know it. We're stupid.
But I think it's a cool picture.
picture.
It's a more of a focal point.
Look at this little rascal.
Yeah, she's cute. It's a very candid picture.
Whoa.
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 What happened to
Devil
that
eyes.
kid?
You cannot smoke out a little baby right before the wedding. That's illegal.
You can also see that you caught focus on her eyes. And if 5D Mark III has a great focusing system, but at 200 millimeters f2.8, you have a very shallow depth of field and you just kind of keep like refocusing. I tend to use continuous focus and back button focus and put a single focus point on the eye and then continuous shooting, just refocusing,
yeah.
shooting. It is pretty important to get the eye in
It
focus.
is so hard to get the eye in focus when.
Yeah, you'll never get it 100% of the time. It's going to be some percent, so you can't
I
just take
blame
one
this
shot.
child for not having her face back here.
Yeah, but I also can't explain
Baby
what's
swallow.
going on with her bloodshot eyes. That kid's crazy.
I think that they tried to enhance it in some way, and then 'Cause she's
Maybe
got
she was the maid of honor and
bloodshot
she went
teeth
out
as
for
well.
the bachelorette party and things got wild.
Things got crazy. Oh,
Speaking of things getting crazy, that's a cool picture, a striking picture. I'm going to give it a pick. There's just something about it. It's interesting.
I'm scared.
Just classic portrait.
Okay. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think they just dumped mud on her head.
Kids are weird.
These pictures are all from a 5D Mark III. I feel like they might be from the same person.
But no, they wouldn't do that. People, when they know rules, they follow them, even if it's a minor inconvenience for them.
I think it's a beautiful scene. The processing can be difficult here. We
Messy.
see a little bit of haloing and a little bit of fringing.
Yeah.
Blend multiple exposures together with a graduated filter. Chapter 9 of Stunning Digital Photography has a video on how to do that. We also have videos on how to do it in a Photoshop book.
was
I
not
forgot to
right.
have a whole
Oh my gosh,
Video on
we
that.
have
a whole book on that. You can also do it, pretty much get it done in Lightroom. It's just not as precise.
SDP.io submit. People are going crazy.
Why?
I don't know. Siobhan's like, put that thing up. Put it up.
Oh, do we not have a title for it?
Yeah, I just didn't load it before.
Beautiful portrait, right?
Beautiful.
I love the front bouquet. Is there a separate word for that?
Froke.
Froquet.
Froke.
I like that it's washed out. We could add a black point to it, but I like the way it is. I'm give that one a pick. I think it's a fantastic portrait.
It's really
I think
nice.
she's
I'm
probably
gonna
really
give it
happy
5.
with that.
Ooh, turkey. I love turkey.
It's a place.
Look.
Is that the Blue Mosque?
I don't know. I don't know things.
Well, we should toss it back to Siobhan, see if there are any
Siobhan.
questions, and I'll look up a portfolio.
Hi
Hi,
guys.
Siobhan.
Hey, Siobhan. Thanks for joining us last minute.
It's just like an amazing cavalcade of people showing up every 30 seconds and being like, what's the link to submit? What's the theme? What's the password?
You could put it in the description. That would be okay.
Nobody reads the description.
Yeah, good point.
Siobhan,
Because then
save
I'm
us
just
from
saying,
ourselves.
read the description. Trust me. I've been there. I've done it. I've tried it all.
You've tried it.
Okay.
You should just get a new tattoo.
sdp.io/. Okay. Yeah, Chelsea, you kind of told us this, but maybe there's an even better one. What is the silliest thing you saw at Photokina?
Chris and Tony holding hands and skipping.
You're right. I think that has to win. Chris Nichols from the Camera Store TV.
It was my brainchild, but I just didn't realize how beautiful it was going to be until it was in action. I was like, I made this. What else was really silly? Do they mean like camera-wise?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. In the past, we always end up seeing some gadgets where we look at them and
Futureland.
they're like, nobody would ever want that. But I don't even know that I can remember it because we saw so many different things.
It was an
Sorry.
overwhelming display of photography stuffs, gadgets.
Any other questions? Sorry, we didn't nail that one.
We're like not on the ball.
We're at like
Yeah,
30%
save
today.
us from ourselves, Siobhan.
It's all right. I got some.
Okay.
Everyone wants to know about the DJI Mavic Pro. Did you already bring that up earlier?
Yeah, we did.
I did mention it. I haven't had a chance to play with it. I'm excited about it, though. I definitely want it. I will happily trade my Phantom 4 for it.
Ooh.
I will say, Casey Neistat put out kind of the first comparison video of it, and he later retracted it, saying he screwed up the focusing on the Mavic because the Mavic in that video looked terrible. And I just thought, I guess I won't be getting it. It looks bad.
What the hell? Our review material now has to overlap with Casey Neistat.
I know.
That's not even fair.
Yeah, he did a review and botched it because reviews are super hard, but he still has 1.5 million.
Those are fighting words.
No, that's according to him. He said the whole thing's out of focus in that camera, and so it makes the camera look bad when it's not. I like Casey, but it has 1.5 million views, and I'm not sure everybody is going to realize that. Like, they'll see it and not see a retraction.
Yeah.
So they can have kind of widespread effects. That's why I wanted to mention it.
Okay. You know what everybody brought up? Not everybody, but a lot of people brought up at Photokina that you're not orange in person. People were very impressed by that.
Yeah, our camera colors are a little screwed up. Color for video is much harder than color for stills, especially live video, especially matching multiple cameras with different lenses. It's difficult.
They don't believe us. It's easy. We're just jerks. What else, Siobhan?
Chelsea, what's the deal with the handcuffs you were given in Germany?
That sounds so much weirder than it is.
It was in London.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had an ex-police officer that was helping us with security. He's a stunner, but also he was like, let me volunteer my services. Very nice of him. And I didn't know. He said, whatever you need me for, just ask. And I couldn't even begin to imagine what to ask of him. And I was like, could you arrest Tony? And he said, I'll bring the cuffs and you do the arresting. So he actually brought me handcuffs. But then I didn't know. I was like, do I go through with it or?
It felt weird, like kind of we have to do some stuff. And
But yeah.
okay,
What
let's take a
else
look
do we
at Nathan Zaremski's
Sure.
portfolio. This is hosted on Squarespace, our sponsor.
Whoa, go back. That guy is totally into Jesus.
Probably so. Okay, so we start off with 3 different pictures. Oh, I see. I think each one of them leads to one of his 3 separate portfolios. I am not a fan of the kind of drop menu like this. I would rather...
Would you suggest he drop it?
Yeah, I would surface these 3. So it just says landscapes, events, and aviation, and then your other menus too.
Wow. You should lead with these, sir. Dang. Look at these 2.
Yeah, I immediately wondered...
Crepuscular rays.
Asking people to kind of drill down like that is
Whoa.
difficult just in the modern era.
Wow.
Beautiful HDR shot. I would just de-HDR it a little bit.
Wow. This one's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'd like to see these full screen.
Oh, I love that light. Just gorgeous.
Right? Am I right?
But yeah, you kind of want to make the defaults ideal for it. And I think, especially for landscapes,
Yeah.
it really works well. Events.
Okay. Is this one event? Or
Oh, is it looking like one event to
is
you?
it one event or is it just a bunch of similar events?
Yeah, I guess what you're thinking, I don't see a lot of diversity in these photos, and we like to see
Yeah.
diversity in a portfolio.
Maybe get a few events under your belt and then make an events section.
Yeah, it reads pretty quickly when you see a set that's from one event and you just think, oh, this person shot an event.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, they don't necessarily have that much experience. So yeah, try to get some other shots in there and kind of mix it up.
This is nice. This one's great.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Okay. What's my feedback for you, Nathan? I would say
Brighten this shot.
Oh.
But go ahead with your point.
I would say your landing page, you had much stronger pictures within your portfolio than that landing page depicted. So I'd go through and pick some of those other pictures. And then I think I'd get rid of your events page until you just get a few more events to put up there, unless you have them and you haven't updated your portfolio yet. But otherwise, you have really nice pictures.
Yeah, I think it's going really well for you. I would probably have a single just category that you present people with, full screen images. I think that might be the right thing for now. But yeah, I think your work is going great, and I would just keep at it. I like your About page. I think that's looking good. And you have links to your social media.
You look friendly.
Yeah, I like that a lot. He looks welcoming. I would happily hire him for a project. Let's see what Nathan had to say about using Squarespace. He says, after Chelsea planting Squarespace in my head every 10 minutes, I finally got it.
Welcome.
The templates are beautiful, and the support staff are the best I've ever seen. If I have a problem or need some help, they will fix it within minutes. Squarespace is what I recommend to everyone now. Thanks, guys.
See?
We like Squarespace, too. If you want your own Squarespace portfolio, you can get a 14-day free trial, no credit card required, by going to squarespace.com/Tony. Using your trial, if you decide you like it, then and only then, you can use the coupon code portfolio and get 10% off your monthly
What does
contract,
that
which is
do?
pretty cheap.
Gives them 10% off.
Yep, and it lets Squarespace know that they heard about it from us, and that hopefully encourages Squarespace to keep sponsoring our shows so that we can keep doing this and looking at your pictures. Speaking of, should we look at some more pictures?
Can we talk to Siobhan a little bit?
Yeah, thank you,
I
Squarespace.
missed her.
Back to you, Siobhan.
We've been away so long.
Hey, guys.
You had your own photo trip, Siobhan. You went to
did.
San Fran for a few days. You wrote a blog about it. You got some really nice pictures. I saw them.
Thank you. Northrop.photo, guys. I have a beginner photography blog. Yeah, I went to San Francisco for a very whirlwind weekend for my friend's wedding. It was my first time in California, and it was delightful.
It looked really nice.
I have some cool
beautiful
surfer
city.
pictures coming up for my street photography.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let's see what else I have for you guys. Who's the cook in your house, and what's your favorite dish?
What?
Who's
Who
the
is
cook in our house?
in your
Nobody.
house?
Nobody. How dare you? Every day I get up and cook breakfast. Just about every day I make
You make
lunch.
the best breakfast.
Thank you.
Like you should have your own breakfast restaurant.
And I don't cook every night, but I definitely cook a couple of times a week. Dinner, that is.
When I cook, it's a big disappointment to everyone involved. And I try not to do it.
It's not a disappointment to everybody. You're just very critical of yourself, I think. You're never quite happy with how it turns out.
That's because I like when professional cooks make my food.
Yeah, I guess it's tough to compete with the restaurant.
Or Siobhan's husband.
Eric's
He's
an
a very
awesome
good cook. Yeah. Justin, are you a good cook?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm pretty good. I kind of make the same stuff Tony does.
Yeah.
Just burritos and stuff.
Yeah, I pretty much just make burritos. I always cook burritos at least once a week.
Yeah.
Texas boy, it's just how we do.
Yeah.
Burritos and hamburgers.
Yep.
You want to look at some more pictures?
Well, no, I didn't get my comments from Siobhan yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Going back to Siobhan.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, you already mentioned that Fuji camera's not real, right?
Well, they have a prototype, but it doesn't really work though.
Yeah, you would have to. Yeah.
Just because this
you can't
guy
assess
says-
any part of it.
He says, question for the Silver Fox.
Does
Do
that
you
mean-
think that Fujifilm medium frame mirrorless is going to push the mirrorless fad further? Is this the way of the future?
I don't know. I think at best it'll be very nichey. I don't know that many working pros will be drawn to it because at least initially of the limited lenses, I think they're looking more for they're sort of like wealthy, enthusiastic customers to pull them up market because this is a camera that they said would come in at under $10,000, so probably close to $10,000, and that's a lot.
That's ridiculous.
That's for a camera and a single prime lens, probably. And whether or not that's worth it, it's going to be really tough to put that up against a 35 millimeter camera, especially with similar high end lenses, similar size and weight, and we just don't know. Nobody really knows.
Or maybe like the Pentax. Is it to compete with that at all? Like the 645?
Yeah, the 645Z, as they say.
Wouldn't that be better? It's like a little more affordable and stuff.
It might come in less expensive, and it does have lots of lenses. It's also this like hulking thing. We finally had a chance to shoot with it, and
Nix.
yeah, we shot with Nix,
That
and
was nice.
yeah, it does feel good. It's a very substantial camera. I think the Fuji will definitely be an easier camera to handle because it's mirrorless.
What else, Siobhan?
Let's see. Any trends by camera manufacturers on shutters? Seems like I keep hearing about new shutter mechanisms to reduce shutter shake. Is this something the industry is doing something about globally?
Definitely, as megapixel counts go up, the impact of shutter shake becomes more and more significant, and so they've had to counteract that. The initial A7R was Sony's 36 megapixel camera, but nobody could get, well, you often couldn't get sharp pictures out of it just because the shutter would close and it would shake the camera so much that basically at certain shutter speeds, the picture would just be less sharp. And so after that, Sony and a bunch of other companies put electronic shutters in, which don't shake the camera at all. Canon and Nikon with their high megapixel cameras have like dampening effects on the shutters. But me personally, I'm a huge fan of electronic shutters. Like on the Fuji, we just have it turned on and it's just completely silent. So for anything except portraits, really, silent shutters work well.
Yeah, when you're trying to take a portrait and the silent shutter's on, everyone's always like,
They just
Is
keep
it
smiling.
happening?
They're like waiting for you to
Is
take
it
a picture.
happening?
You're like, no, I took 20 pictures, and they're all of you looking like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So you always have to turn on the mechanical shutter for the portraits. But otherwise, I love the.
That's funny because we were
silent
taking
electronic
pictures
shutter.
of a model at an event once and people had the silent shutter on and she was like, I don't know when to change poses.
Yeah.
Can you just turn that on?
Yeah. You just have to make a click, click sound with your mouth.
Click.
Snap, snap.
Don't do
Okay.
that.
Let's take a look at a few pictures. We'll come back to Siobhan. This is a hiking picture. I think it does a great job
Oh
of
yeah,
telling the story.
depicting hiking.
We have a lot of submissions, so I'll try to go through things quickly. This is all my favorite things.
I don't get it.
Animals and lenses. I don't know, but this is like a type of picture. You put the animal on the camera on a big lens, and people always really like it. And I like this one. It's cute.
He's cute.
This one feels like it needs. Whoa. I'm sorry.
Whoa. You're on a rampage.
Yeah, my mouse just flipped out.
Yeah, blame the mouse. Typical Tony.
I like anytime there's waterfalls, I want that water to be kind of white. And here the sky is kind of bright, but we really need to.
Oh.
That was too far, but.
No, there's so much contrast. It's.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is.
What are you going to do? Oh.
Bring in a graduated filter here and actually drop the exposure a little bit there. Not too much, just a little.
Sure.
Better? Thanks for your support.
I just like to keep it real in my corner. Look at these sunflowers.
I would just tone it down a little bit. A graduated filter here might work better than, I don't know if it's HDR processing or what, but it feels a little artificial in the transition from the foreground to the sky.
I agree.
But it's a beautiful scene, just a stunning scene. I'm sorry to nitpick this one little post-processing thing.
Yeah.
You got the picture.
You did it.
Now you just have to process it correctly. Hey, there's a book that could help you out.
I know.
Beautiful steeple. This feels like Swiss maybe. I just love that architecture.
What do you think? I like it in black and white. It's also nice in color.
Yeah, I even feel like I would get closer to the tombstones because just to tell that story better, because right now so much of the foreground is dominated by that stone over to the left, but it doesn't contribute anything to the story. So yeah, as you zoom in there and we kind of virtually crop it, I think
I really like
that
it.
Helps.
I'm giving it a pick.
Okay. I would change the composition a little. I think this shot is really cool. I think you got it. I think it's great. I would have definitely used a higher f-stop number, even though that would have forced you to also use a higher ISO and get more noise in it. I would have liked to have seen those vegetables in the foreground be sharper.
Gotta have those sharp vegetables, guys. How many times have we told you?
It's just that it's so dominant in the frame to have it out of focus like that is a little bit distracting. This is an iPhone picture, but I think it turned out beautifully. I think it's a panorama.
Look at this.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of megapixels.
Nice...
Yeah, great scene, and you included the sun as a focal point. Speaking of focal point, this one kind of needs one. Yeah, I would also watch that exposure a little bit. I think it got a little bit blown out.
What to do?
Okay, let's keep moving. We got a lot to look at.
We do.
This is a nice kind of unconventional portrait. Super sharp. I like it.
Like the colors.
Camping.
So you are. Maybe I'd bring a little detail back out in the sky.
Yeah, I was just thinking about what to do with that. There might be other ways to compose it where it doesn't feel so flat, like maybe getting closer to the tent. But at the same time, I think it works, especially if it were part of an overall photo series that told a bigger story.
I like it.
I like it too.
Oh, look at this eyeball. Oh.
It's a great picture, very sharp. This is another case where a higher f-stop number could have helped, just because the bill is so prominent in the shot. You did nail the focus, but getting a little more depth of field in there might have looked nicer.
So cute.
Oh, great expressions. I like that the soccer ball is still in the frame. Your eye goes right to it.
Yeah,
Nicely done.
Really good picture.
I'm giving that one a pick. We don't see a whole lot of sport shots, but this one worked really well.
It just makes me laugh.
Oh.
I saw this on Twitter. It's Maya's.
Oh, okay. That's where I saw it. I remember she was struggling with some banding. And looking at it, the banding doesn't strike me. I think you'd have to be a little nitpicky about it. Well, you know what? As you make some adjustments, and I start to see some banding in there. But only because I'm looking for it. I don't think I'd be too distracted by it.
I like it.
Feels like it got overexposed a little bit. Rio.
Oh, there's stuff in there. There's stuff in there.
Yeah, maybe back off the exposure in the raw file if you have that.
The light. The light is maybe this photo would convey a bit better, like sunrise or sunset, when you can hit one side of the buildings, and it just would add more depth and dimension to these buildings here.
Yeah, and if there were one particular focal point, because you have a great setting, and it just gives you a good sense for the city, and the composition of it is great. But if you could find something to put in the foreground, that would be great too. Or you could make the vehicles more interesting by maybe doing a long exposure and showing their movement.
Oh, this looks familiar.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love his little skin knee, his
It's
expression.
like me growing up. It turned out good, nice and sharp too.
I like it black and white just because it makes me focus on the movement and his expression more.
Yeah.
And I think the color is makes the shirt a distraction, but that's your choice, photographer. A lotus flower.
Yeah. Beautiful shot. Nice and simple. Great light, great reflection. Give it a pick.
I'm just going to bring down the highlights to bring out the detail, but oh, look at these steampunks. Is that what they're called?
I don't know. I like it a lot. I think by cropping it, you kind of had a crop there that was a little tighter, and I think that might work even better and just kind of tell the story of them taking the selfie. They have some contacts in, I think.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, okay. That's back.
We're fighting. Joe Baker, I'm always a big fan of your pictures. This is beautiful.
Yeah,
Excellent
just great light.
Yeah.
Really nicely done. Great expression out of her. It looks like you got a little
I love the
wind
negative
going in her
space,
hair.
the colors. What's not to like? Let's give it a 5. Oh,
Nicely done. This is beautiful. I love the colors in this. I'm going to give this one a pick too. Great expression.
I'm going to bring up the contrast a little bit. Cool.
Oh, that's gorgeous. I do want to see a white point in there, though.
I was thinking that. This is really lovely. Good on you. I was so happy
Oh,
when we
that's
met
gorgeous.
the people that told us we reviewed their pictures, we liked them. How awkward would it be if we met someone, they're like, we hated it.
Oh, well, it happens all the time
It
that
has happened.
people say, oh, you finally got to my picture one week, and then you just said, let's skip past it. And I'm sure that happens. The problem is we often get, I don't know, certainly hundreds, maybe thousands of pictures. I don't even see them all. And we just can't do every
Good
picture. I wish we
colors.
could.
Love those colors. Ooh,
Oh, wow.
beautiful. I'm going to give this 5. Looks like some frequency separation going on here in the editing. How do I know? Because I wrote about it in the Photoshop book. There's a video.
Yeah,
So-
that's just a great portrait.
Oh, this is
I like
Andrew Brunson. I should have known. I know his style.
I love the use of the foreground.
Good job,
Great
Andrew.
lighting.
His pictures are amazing. He's a boy, a man, a young man. Look at these people. Look at that blur in the fingers. Slow down those fingers, people.
Cool shot.
It's cool. Let's bring down the blue.
Just to show a little more of the sky, I guess. That turned out great. Nice foreground. You could,
Did it?
yeah, I was gonna say brighten it up a little, maybe bring the shadows out a little, but yeah, nicely done.
Now we're talking.
Good use of finding a good location for fireworks. So many people just take pictures of boring fireworks, but it's more interesting as an overall scene. Sorry.
Can I just plug more?
Okay.
Look how important editing is.
Yeah, such a minor tweak, right? That would be even more prominent in a print. What a beautiful scene. I haven't been to this place, but I would like to. It's gorgeous. Somebody just built stuff in
I
them.
haven't been to this place.
I just feel like I should have been.
I should have been.
25-second exposure. Turned out really nice.
Dang, that's seconds. We know where this is.
Yeah, I think it's a great spot. I would just kind of wait for some nicer light. It's a good picture. Just revisit it.
Good expression.
Great hat.
Don't be a hater, Tony. Yeah.
Are those spots on the screen?
No,
or?
I think that they have some dust.
Oh, okay. So there's a bit of sensor dust, which always shows up in like blurry areas. So you can go through and just clean that up really easily with the spot removal tool. And especially if you have a series of photos, you can copy and paste those settings to kind of transfer them over to every picture. And then also clean your sensor just to save yourself time.
We have a
processing.
video on that.
Yeah. SDP has it in chapter 5. There's instructions for cleaning your sensor.
Siobhan, what other questions
Great
or
pictures,
comments or ideas do you have?
I have some gear questions. You know, they're my favorite.
Someone that met us said that you get mad every time people ask your questions.
I do. Guys, you see me get mad, and it's usually about having to repeat myself. Not about gear questions. I just think they're boring.
I've literally never seen you get mad in person, just that these people on the internet.
I don't actually get mad.
No.
I'm just a sassy lady.
You are.
It's even.
You know what? You're a card.
I'm a card. I gotta keep you on your toes.
Great
I'm like
job.
that sassy waitress that you tip more because she acts like she doesn't like you.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Oh, yeah, that's totally a thing, and I shouldn't have let you all know. Okay.
Cute kid.
You have cool secrets, Siobhan.
So many secrets. This doesn't make sense to me, so I will read it to you as written. Why couldn't you build a mirrorless camera with micro lenses on the sensor that correct for the differences in flange distance to accommodate, for example, EOS lenses on a new mirrorless body that could be made smaller but still able to use all the great Canon glass still available?
That sounds expensive.
Sentence.
Well, you wouldn't. You really couldn't do that. The light would just be hitting the lens out of focus, so you would just need to put something. I mean, I don't think you can pull light from different parts of the sensor and refocus it because it would just be hitting it at different angles. Micro lens is just what you would just put space. It's just an adapter that moves it further away.
So what you're telling us is this person.
Why can't you? I don't know. But I guess go for it. If you can do that, that'd be cool. What else you have, Siobhan?
Go for it. Like he's going to be like, sure, and get out the super glue.
Get some micro lenses and put them on the sensor.
Yeah.
I love this thundercloud or whatever it's called. Oh, volcano. Beautiful.
Oh, Tony, did you continue that test with you breathing on your lenses and wiping the front element with your shirt, or did Chelsea talk some sense into you?
Yeah, nobody would let me do it. I just need to wait until I'm alone one night.
I don't normally mind you breathing.
Thanks.
I'm usually cool with it.
No, I need to continue that. I got through like 100 or so, and then everybody was like, stop it.
When you say everybody, do you just mean me? You
No,
could do
even
it in
Justin
your free
wasn't thrilled.
time. You weren't cool with it either, Justin.
I don't think anybody wanted.
I was okay with it.
Don't lie to us, Justin. we need your honesty here.
I love the contrast in this portrait. I'm still kind of going through pictures.
Yeah, those are nice. This is a beautiful scene. Siobhan, do you have any other questions?
Of course I do. Everyone just wants to know about things that you may or may not have tested when you were at Photokina. Did you get to visit the Hasselblad booth and test the X1D?
No.
No, we didn't get through half of Photokina. We made very slow progress when we were there because we kept saying hi to people. And one booth we didn't get a chance to visit that we wanted to was Hasselblad. I did play with the A99 too, the new Sony SLT. Yeah, we did, and it seems fantastic. It really does seem fantastic. They had the memory card holder like bolted down. They didn't want anybody to get sample pictures with it.
Wasn't
They're not
it
ready
just
for that.
taped?
They had a whole mechanical thing clamped over it.
Really?
Yeah.
I can never really get a feel for a camera at a convention because you have people standing around you just staring at you, waiting for their turn. And then sometimes they don't even have a model or anything to shoot set up. And you're just really quickly trying to get a feel for it. I need quiet time alone.
Yeah, exactly. And really, you have to live with the camera too. So
Just like to live with it.
I mean, any feedback anybody's giving you is probably not going to be all that useful until we, get the final versions of it and we can hang out and actually look at the pictures. But overall, it seemed good.
Sure.
This is a beautiful night shot, right?
Okay.
I don't know what these green lines are.
Lasers.
Maybe they're lasers. I think it's really cool. I'm giving it a pick. Even though technically it might be spot color. I'll allow it.
Suspicious.
He's cute. What happened? It's like they recovered the highlights too much or something. Trying to restore it.
Whoa.
Oh, this is right away. 5 stars.
Right away. Straight out the gate.
Beautiful steam coming off of it. The fact that you got the whole
Indiana
thing.
Jones whip.
I did fly fishing for a long time. I'm just jet lagged. No vocabulary coming to me
Look at
today.
this girl.
The zoom is way too extreme. Let's get back to 1:1 up here. There we go. That's a perfect portrait, right?
It's nice.
It's a really cute portrait.
Yeah, but fake snow's not doing anyone any favors.
I don't know that the fake snow is a good idea here just because she's on a plain background.
Yeah, it's a little inconsistent with
Unless-
the story.
It's extreme dandruff. Then I offer my apologies.
Yeah, it's what the kids are doing now. Extreme dancing. It's the new fashion.
It's not fashion. No, but I could tell it was fake snow and it's different. I like different. Ooh.
I thought their front door was an iPhone or something.
This is interesting.
Yeah, I like the almost monochromatic look of it.
Ben Hartley met us in London. I believe this is from when he was with us.
Oh, yeah, it definitely could be.
We got little Benny.
And we had beautiful skies. I think I even recognized the skies.
We got some stuff to
Yeah,
clean
Ben's
up
got to
here.
clean his sensor a little bit.
But I like the interesting processing. It was so nice to meet you, Ben.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
The Walnut Festival.
It feels a little overexposed, and
I like that it looks vintage. It looks kind of retro. But I'd like to see these kids in focus unless that's what they're going for.
oh, great mood. Beautiful spot. I like it a lot. I think this could be a good large print on somebody's wall.
Yeah.
Like 3 feet by 4 feet, maybe even on canvas. It would just be, it's like a great environmental picture. I would definitely give that one a pick. Really nicely done. I know it's not the most complex of the photos that we've seen here, but I just really like it. Great mood.
I just warmed up the foreground a bit because that's how I'm living my life right now. Okay. Interesting.
My eye doesn't rest anywhere. I could definitely do with a focal point in the scene. I feel like this is always a hard shot. You know, how do you, because you often see these like spectacular domes, and how do you capture it in an interesting way? And here, I think if we were to add one thing, like somebody leaning over the rail, it might make it a little more compelling. Another option would be to go for full symmetry, where you position yourself right underneath the peak of the dome and point straight up.
The mixed light is getting me, so I think I'd go to black and white just to avoid that.
Yeah, the mixed lighting can be difficult to repair too.
Chippy.
Oh, he's really cute. I like the off-center composition here.
I like Sharpays. They're so cute. Needs a white point. Do 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 do. What do you think?
Yeah,
Better?
I think going like full artistry makes it a little bit
Because
better.
I like his little wrinkles and stuff.
Yeah, I will say I'm a little bummed by this background piece here. If you could have shifted your body over to the right a little bit, you probably could have hidden it. You know, I like this picture a lot, but I'm immediately distracted by the bag of trash over here, which seems
That's a part of the story.
inconsistent with everything. I'm just going to steal the mouse so I can hide it. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Okay, close enough, Lightroom. Wasn't perfect, but... Oh, wow.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's gorgeous. I so wish I could get Milky Way shots where we are. We just don't Have too much light
That's
pollution.
amazing. I'm going to give that a pick and 5 stars.
Yeah, really
So
nicely
many
done.
good pictures today, guys.
Yeah.
5. Let's see. It's 3 o'clock. Let's keep this rolling.
Oh, he's adorable. That's a great shot.
Yeah. Really great.
Also a beautiful shot. Wow.
Really cool.
I love the powder in that. Great action.
Loving that dome piece.
Oh, yeah. What a nice portrait. Great silhouette.
Nick.
Nick. Beautiful colors. Could use a focal
We
point,
did it.
a seagull or something.
We did it.
You feel like, let me just.
You're going to re-import.
See,
This is going to get really overwhelming.
what's going on, Siobhan? Justin, is anybody tweeting anything? I don't even think we plugged Twitter.
Nah, well, people are saying we want you back in Germany. Thanks for the surprise show.
Are
Yada,
people
yada,
saying
yada.
our site this hell about our book and they just want to buy 100 of them to support us?
That's unnecessary. They should just buy like
They should
20
buy
or 30.
1,000 of them.
Some guy says, thanks for clarifying about the DJI Maverick. Mavic?
You're welcome.
Maverick?
Oh, he was also
Yeah.
kind of confused about the test. Yeah, I was so super bummed by that. I was ready to buy it, and then I saw Casey's test, and I'm like, crap. And then I saw Casey's clarification. I'm like, oh, good.
You know what's really good about this
Been a
book?
whirlwind.
Just to bring it back, that Tony teaches you how to make this chipmunk's eyes very small. Seriously good lesson.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Here's a good question.
Okay.
Awesome.
What are your tips on getting noticed on social media? My answer is boobs.
No,
Good.
Siobhan, don't
Boobs.
tell people to exploit our lady parts.
I didn't mean it.
I think first of all, you know have to know how to use social media and hashtags or whatever you have to use depending on your platform.
I was going to
Posting-
say it's so hard to generalize because
Yeah.
Facebook is so different from Twitter or so different from Instagram.
Posting consistently is fairly important.
Yeah.
Being a part of the community is important. Don't be selfish. So many people just want all the likes and things and never want to give back. If you're not involved, nobody wants to be involved with you. So participate, put a little time into it, and then put up good content, which is probably the most difficult part.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing is to be yourself because nowadays we get so many people who read some article on how to be good at social media and they start to follow the steps. So you start to see people doing the exact same things over and over
Okay.
again, and then we immediately start to tune that out.
Yeah.
So be yourself and make stuff that's shareable. That's something that we do well. Stuff that other people will want to associate themselves with, and they think is that original that they'd want to share it.
And consider your platform as well. So, for example, Instagram, most people are looking on their tiny phone screen. And I see so many pictures that are just busy. And you look at the tiny little thumbnail and you can't even tell what it is. And then you see a picture where it's very simple composition. And those attract your attention more because you can see what it is very clearly from a small picture. So you're more likely to stop or to look at it.
Yeah, I still think content is king.
That's Sandy.
Um,
She's like, feed me.
oh, is it?
Yeah, we got
Okay.
to wrap it up.
Okay, go ahead and do that, and I'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Make new original content yourself, and that's really hard to do. But even if you're on Twitter, you know what gets shared is a joke that's really funny. So make a funny joke rather than just retweeting somebody else's joke. Or for me, if I get a couple of cameras in and I test something out and we have a new result that other people haven't seen before, that's something that'll get shared because it is new original content in the world and it's so limited. Very few people actually create brand new, unique, and interesting things. So if you do that, it's bound to be successful. Chelsea already left, so I'm just going to take a look at a few more pictures. I think this concert shot is absolutely fantastic. This guy is totally working his hair. The lighting is fantastic. I gave that one a pick. This dog is cute. The shot itself ended up a little bit underexposed, so we can brighten that up somewhere in between there. But really nicely done. Nice composition on it, too. We have a fairly modern picture of the New York City skyline. And I think it turned out really nice. Yeah, nicely done. Oh, what a great scene. I just really like this. The sky turned out a little bit green for some reason, so maybe we could... What if auto white balance will help? Yeah, that might be a little bit better. And then maybe we can just add a little bit of contrast to it. Let's see. But I think it's an absolutely beautiful scene. I really like it. Statues are a difficult thing to photograph, but I like the inclusion of the flowers here in the foreground and the completely abstracted background. Nice shot. Oh, another shot with a great mood. I think this stands alone. It could even work as a big print. I also think it'd be awesome if there were like a swan going through the. I know it's a lot to ask. Here we have like an action scene of. Oh, okay. Yes, nice shot. Sorry, my partner left, and I have. Wow. Okay, I'm probably not going to get through all these pictures. I'll start at the bottom here and see what actually catches my eye. Look at this kid. She is rocking it out. I bet she had a lot of fun with that. I think that's really cool. Nice work. What's this one? This reminds me of Game of Thrones. What could be the story there? Well, it's a cool location. I think we missed focus on his eyes, and it's a common tip, but use a single focus point and refocus, shoot, refocus, shoot, refocus, shoot, because you'll just never get 100% on any camera because people move and you're moving. Look at this gorgeous reflected landscape. Now the title says it's an HDR shot, but you really just wouldn't notice it. And that's kind of perfect. An HDR shot that looks totally natural. I know from shooting landscapes that this is probably the sunrise hitting these mountains. This is like 20 times brighter, actually more like 20 stops brighter than this. So they had to recover that so you could even see it, but it looks natural. I like this kind of off-center street photography shot, so I'm going to give that one a pick. Here we have kind of a glamour portrait on the stairs, and I think it works really well. Really simple. The thumbnail is eye-catching too. Nicely done. Let's see. What other thumbnails catch my eye? Thumbnails are just so important in modern photography. As Chelsea mentioned on Instagram, everything is kind of small, and so a thumbnail like this works really well. You know, you might take a 50 megapixel picture, but you also need to make sure that it works at half a megapixel and that the composition is still really interesting. Great exposure on the snow there. Oh, look at this one. Now, this one didn't have a great thumbnail because it was so complex, and in fact, well, I feel like the clarity has been dropped or something. There's a little bit of softness to it, but and I can't really tell what's going on here just because of the softness. Maybe it's out of focus. I'm not even sure. There's something about it, but it looks interesting. I wish I could give you more precise feedback. Look at this guy. Beautiful lighting on it, and the hard side lighting or hard top lighting did a great job of kind of highlighting his musculature. Great shot, great mood. That's really cool. Including this guy in there really makes it much more compelling. Even though I'm going to pick. I should give this one a pick too. That was a great shot. Train shots. Saw that one earlier. What's going on here? Oh, that's not what I meant. Oh, wow. That's really clever. I have never seen anything like this before. I definitely find it fascinating, and I can see it took some effort. That is a really compelling picture. That's a picture you'd want to just study for a little bit. Nicely done. I feel like there must be a story behind it. Like maybe these are his friends on different continents. I don't know. Compelling stuff. What's this lady doing in a field? I feel like this is a fashion shot, and I think as far as showing off the clothes go, I think it works really well. Just the kind of casual lifestyle thing you do, hanging out in a field, looking cool. Oh, that's not what I meant to click. Oh, that's gorgeous. This is really just about perfect. I think I'd like to raise the whites, just add a little more contrast to it. And yeah, pick. Great shot.
Tony, what's the tripod on your desk? Asks someone.
Oh, yeah. We never talked about it. This is, Manfrotto sent us this, and it is the Be Free video tripod. And I reviewed the Be Free just regular stills tripod, and this is that, but slightly different, optimized for video. And what's optimized about it is that it has a leveling head, first of all. if you're a video shooter, then you're gonna right away appreciate that. Is that okay? That looks pretty good.
Yeah, that looks good.
So there's a leveling head here, so you can loosen that up and then get it tightened and level. And then you can pan like this, and no matter where you pan, your shot's always going to be level. And you can also do tilts like this. And our existing, it's loose a little bit, our existing fluid heads first, if you, most pan and tilt heads, if they're cheap, you will never get a smooth pan, and it will make the video look all jerky and unprofessional, and you just shouldn't. You shouldn't bother panning and tilting unless you have a good fluid head. And our Manfrotto fluid heads are huge, and they cost like $450, but they're nice and smooth. And this one seems pretty good. We haven't had a chance to really test it yet, but Justin and I both thought it just felt kind of silky smooth and could probably give you good results. Might take a couple of tries, but it's pretty adjustable and pretty smooth for such a small head. Folds up really small. So far, looks pretty good. We'll try it out in the real world. That's the only way to really test a tripod. You can't just play with it and announce that it's good. You have to live with it for a while. Great shot, James. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. Look at those clouds. Gorgeous texture. You know I like airplanes. Oh, this is an F-18, the exact same plane that scared the holy crap out of me when I was way up on a mountain in California. An F-18 like this was flying through the valley when I was way up on the top of a mountain, and it was eye level with me, going clearly close to the speed of sound and just doing like half a roll. Within, I don't know, a couple of 100 feet of me. It shook the valley and scared everybody who was down lower too, but just about made me wet myself. It was the scariest thing that happened to me in my entire life. He buzzed the tower. I hate that scroll wheel. Look at this guy. Quite an expression out of him. Great backlighting. Giving that one a pick. She's just adorable with those glasses. That is such a cute picture. Wow, and they have a 5D Mark IV.
I was just going to comment on that, yeah.
I can't believe that other people even have them. Like, they just started shipping them, and you already have great shots with it. Fantastic shot. It's just the bottle of water that I would get rid of. Otherwise, it struck me as funny right away because it's like a moody, angsty picture you'd get like from a grungy teen senior shoot or something, but she's like a cute little kid with a braid in her hair. So I guess that kind of the mix of her expression and her kind of otherwise cheery outfit made me chuckle a little bit. But I think it's a good shot. I would just either clone out or crop out that bottle projecting in from the bottom. I just want to know what's going on here. I guess this person just has a butler that keeps his lens dry. That's pretty fancy. I gotta get me one of those. Like a harlequin. Oh, okay, it's a statue. Thought it was an actual person. Portraits. Camaros. Okay, I think we're close to wrapping it up. I got through just about everything. The jumping shot. Okay, well, they did a pretty good job. It's pretty hard to get everybody's feet off the ground at the same time. I appreciate the one in the middle
that
there.
girl in the middle is my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, we just got to separate her from the background a little bit because it's cool that she's standing there, but you're going to have to do some dodging and burning to separate her from that black door. Star trails. Nicely done. A little gap here. So if you clearly did this by stacking, just get rid of those pictures before or after this break. I don't know which direction that's going. And then you can get rid of that break and it'll just look a little bit better. Your star trails will be a tiny bit shorter, but no problem. Holy crap.
Wow.
Where is this, Justin? Do you recognize this?
No, not offhand. It's amazing, though.
Yeah, it really is. I really want to get into this. It's difficult and expensive, and we just have so much light pollution that it's almost impossible to do where we are. We'd have to travel somewhere else, so I don't have a lot of opportunity to, but I'm really fascinated by this stuff. Okay, I think I'll call this the last picture.
Wow.
Gorgeous light, beautiful scene. Thanks so much for joining us, and thank you to our sponsor, Squarespace. If you want your own awesome Squarespace portfolio, go to squarespace.com/Tony. Sign up, get a 14-day free trial, no credit card required. If you like it, use the coupon code portfolio to save yourself 10%. Thanks for sponsoring us, Squarespace. Siobhan, any final comments or anything particularly meaningful from the audience?
Somehow I doubt it.
Okay, that seems like a no.
All right. Have you ever shot specifically for a book cover? Do you have any tips for that? I know you've used your images for your book covers, but someone has to shoot for a book cover.
Yeah, the Photoshop book was really the only one where we set out to make a book cover. And there are things very specific to shooting for a book cover. First, we knew we were shooting for an 8x10 book because we needed the format to match our other books because we shipped them together and stuff. So there were logistical reasons, but that also meant that the photo itself would have to be formatted to 8x10. You'll see that there's text up here. So you kind of plan to leave some negative space. So even as we were choosing the location, we knew we didn't want trees or mountains there. We wanted just blue sky. And we also knew that it needed to be a picture that would convey well as a thumbnail, because when you shop for books on Amazon, you see a tiny little thumbnail. So that meant that everything had to be basic with bright colors and hopefully a shape that was interesting as a thumbnail, but that was still compelling when you looked at it more close up. So we did shoot this just for the book cover, and it changed everything about it. If you look at the back of the book, there's pictures back here, and none of these would have worked for a book cover just because it's too cluttered, too much going on here. It's not that they're bad pictures, they just wouldn't have worked. This was clearly a much better shot for a book cover. Interestingly, we shot this in a horizontal format, but we used a camera that we knew we could, a 5DSR, 50 megapixel camera, then we knew that we could crop it down to a vertical format and still have plenty of megapixels. So it gave us that flexibility to use it in both horizontal and vertical ways, which is one really nice thing about having lots of megapixels. Answered the hell out of that question. Thanks for asking a question. That wasn't just about gear. We are back this upcoming Thursday talking to Andy Shields about street photography, so get ready for that on October 6th. Otherwise, thank you, Justin. Thank you, Siobhan, and we'll see you in a few. Bye. That is all.